lows, but you won't even get it. Been around the globe, think it's time to admit it's not the end, but the road, and you won't even get it. Been around the globe, looked around, not to fit it. Seen high and lows, but you won't even get it. Been around the globe, think it's time to admit it's not the end, but the road. I was running, I was running, I was running, I was running roads so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I end up zero. This is such a ghostly revelation. I may have fucked up all my chances, fucked up all my chances. I was running, I know, I know. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I call a shot to the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Savage, you've been distracted, your best my average, there's a reason for that's a fact. So they snapping back, mad at the fact that I don't have a backup plan, I ain't need that. Outworking everybody when I relax, so I ain't tripping about none of y'all feedback. Heard that, wonder when I'm gonna peak at. And that's why you count your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Shots on the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stop till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Embrace your destiny, slay your enemy, raise a legacy. No more apologies, trust your abilities, gather the energies. Pull yourself back together and staying off track forever. Child of the nation, will seek redemption, time for salvation. Today is meant to be a day of victory, time for history. Rebirth's a tendency, fight the entropy, channel your rivalry. You're praying for fortune to come, you're hearing the sound of the drums. It's too late to backtrack, go back, you're back now. Keep your feet on the ground and stand up. You've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, out, out. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Go save your team, be a hero. Take home the cup, be a star. They're waiting for you, take aim, shoot your arrow. It's your time to shine, show them who you are. Stronger, gotta go faster, gotta get better, gotta work harder. It's fight or flight now, getting it up now. Go with the move, go for the goal, lead up the stadium, you know how it's done. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, out, out. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up, you've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got, show them how to make a miracle. Yeah. Let's talk. Look, ayo, we rose from the dust to the sun. They claiming that we the one, never one-on-one. Teamwork till we done. Sent on a mission, we got ambition. Never scared, we won't run. Never one and done. Some sit back and some like the hunt. I pick my teammates up when they fall. And if I ball, we all ball. Crashing balls, crossovers and all. Just call us the balls. Don't fear nothing, call us galore. Serving them all. We outside, we barely indoors because we gave it everything when we had nothing. Gave it everything when we had nothing. Holding on by a thread, couldn't grab nothing. Seems we moved on to a better place. Shine, shine away from the shade. But now that we're here, ain't no going back. This is the moment to go. This is the moment to shine. This is the moment to show. Show me the rocks you could climb. This is the moment to feel the path like you legally blind. I can promise this is ours cause we built for this, kill for this. Pushing buttons, do it quick, push it off and do assist. Oh, y'all think we new to this? Pound for pound, break it down. Watch what we gon' do with this. Teamwork got us fluent with. Make y'all look like sewages. Gave it everything when we had nothing. Gave it everything when we had nothing. Holding on by a thread, couldn't grab nothing. Seems we moved on to a better place. Shine, shine away from the shade. But now that we're here, ain't no going back.
There's no defense, I'll buy it if I want it. I'm going supersonic, come on, beg for it. Alright, okay, running out of luck. Too much in my cup, Nishi run it up. Why you always tripping like you top? Cause you not my team pop. Shawty, I know. Why you always tripping like you top? Cause you not my team pop. My team pop.
Who really got the block, Sipping to rock in a cop car, They say they wanna party with us, 12 asking how much be that boofy, it's a la, My feature price bigger than your bank account. You talk about it, but don't show us that about. These boys only flexing with that allowance. We swimming in the shower. I'm only f***ing you if your toes cute. Brown skin, goddamn, that's my soul food. I'm winning for the record, check your memo, bro. Generation of destruction, you'll remember us. LSD used to do promethazine. Only THC, NSC is minor lean. We no longer up next on top. Like your girl when she counting my checks.
There's no defense, I'll buy it if I want it. I'm going supersonic, come on, beg for it. Alright, okay, running out of luck. Too much in my cup, Nishi run it up. Why you always tripping like you top? Cause you not my team pop. Shawty, I know. Why you always tripping like you top? Cause you not my team pop. My team pop.
divine. I'll show you how it's done. There's no sight, we go inside. The man, he is the one. You build your walls with faith in God. They never come around. Then wonder why we all defy the burden to be born. We're coming home with a mission to bring an end to a terrible land. We are here to your mission. We are many of one. We're coming home with a mission to tear you down from your undeserved throne. We can take your conviction. We are many of one. You may call it a virus, but we call it the antidote. It's an answer to silence. The future is here to revolt. It's so high from here. You can see the world. Aren't we all insistent to be smooth?
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Woo. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Summer sauce, dripping, dripping. Woo. Got it. Yeah, yeah, got it. Yeah. Got it. You know. Yeah, you know. I'm only making moves. There ain't no other option. There ain't no other option. So if you talking juice, well, damn, you know I got it. Damn, you know I got it.
Nobody got it like
Nobody got it like. Yeah. I got the juice. I got it. From a dropping in the scene, I feel lucky, yeah. Got them watching from Paris to popping, yeah. With this music was lurking, now I'm attacking. Now with the chatting, I just step up and make it happen. It's a lifestyle. Living young and restless, yeah, we quite wild. If I want it, I'ma get it talking right now. And I ain't got no regrets, it's my time now. Lights out when you see us talking moves. You don't know that's the topic. And if you talking juice, well, damn, you know I got it. Damn, you know I got it.
nobody got it like
Yeah, 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 yeah. You know it, yeah. Summer sauce. Drip, drip. I got the juice, yeah, yeah, yeah. I got the juice. You know. can try, but can do it like Vinny. Yeah, no permission. I got it.
You thought that I was blind, but to be honest I don't mind, cause I don't feel the same way I used to do. Every time I see you, I know the truth, cause baby, every fucking time you've played me, you should know that I don't give a single fuck about you and your words. All the times you lied to me, I took notes. I don't know what to say. I thought you loved me, but you ran away. I've been living in the shadows for a while. Demons calling me from the afterlife. Dark doesn't faze me anymore. I can see my tears into gold. Yeah, yeah. I don't care, no, I don't care. Yeah, yeah. I don't care, I said, cause baby, every fucking time you've played me, you should know that I don't give a single fuck about you and your words. All the times you lied to me, I took notes. I don't know what to say. I thought you loved me, but you ran. I know people come and go away. Sun is low, that's my time to shine again. Cause baby, every fucking time you play me, you should know that I don't.
You call my bluff for the last time. This ain't a song, it's a battle cry. No life. I see the clue between the strobe lights. I'm haunted, black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Black face. Hey, follow me around, okay? Used to want it bad, used to want it bad, but I can't taste it. I can't help you now, okay? Follow me around, okay? Black face. Follow me around, okay? Get push on my. Follow me around, okay? Black face. Follow me around, okay? Get push on my. Got too much up on my plate, now I can't think. I said woke up to get X and now I'm feeling this is it. Want the money, want the rest. I do purse, not no cess. They say Donis, why you sad? I said I just need a thing. Red tape, got too close, I hate the city. Black face, show you everything you need till you fornicate it bad. Someone said it's sad. I used to want it bad. I know it's in my head, keep seeing you too many times, yeah. I know it's in my head, keep seeing you. I know it's in my head. Follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my. Follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my. Follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much up on my. Follow me around, okay? Black face, hey, follow me around, okay? Got too much.
Yeah.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Gaming Malta, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, CS Money, MSI, GG Bet, and ESEA.
These are those moments I don't think anybody else is going to forget.
Hello, 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 and welcome everybody. Thank you very much for joining us today. It's Big versus ForZe. Welcome to your daily dose of ESL Pro League. My name is Squid, and we've got a whole stonking best of 3 coming live for you in just a couple of moments' time. I'm incredibly excited to bring this one, namely because the winners of this series get that direct invite to ESL Pro League Season 12. The stakes literally couldn't be higher for this one. I think both teams definitely looking for a way in to the most prestigious league out there. Let's jump right into the match. Of course, we start on Inferno. We've got 3, I think, thrilling matches coming up. This is ForZe's pick, and, well, they get to start on that T side as well. So, interesting stuff. This is one that really, on paper, they shouldn't be losing. Of course, you pick the map, your opponent picks the side. So, Big have selected that CT start, and that's where we see them right now. It's a pretty standard beginning with the nades coming through. Couple of early aggressive swings onto mid, but not committing all too much as ForZe. They are well known to take your face off in these situations. Minute 30 and no kills traded thus far. ForZe, funnily enough, not a single nade between the 5 of them. All electing to go for that Kevlar. Of course, it's pistol round, so no helmets for this one. Of course, on your T side, you really want to be getting off to that good start. And up against Big, really couldn't be more important. They certainly are the favorites in for this one. And the kills start to get traded here on this A-bomb site. They've got to dig Tizian out of this pit. Big survive here on the cross. And right now with 50 seconds left, ForZe just aren't getting the job done. Tizian, there's another pickup. And it's C-Power versus 4. He's going to get taken away. Big, a 1-0 beginning here. And that was a very passive defense. You see them turtle inwards. As soon as ForZe get a little too close, they snatch that defense right back from them. Don't allow them to get that bomb through. Deprived of that extra cash going into round number 2. And Big, that all-important narrow lead getting into things. That's what's oh so important here. Getting that lead and keeping it. Especially against these aggressive pistols on the force up on the second. C-Power obviously doesn't want to commit everything, needing that AWP coming into round number 4. That'll be their initial buy round. If they're unable to win this one. This is, on paper, what Big should be good at. These fundamental rounds. Where they're trying to keep these pistols back. It's a bit of an early nade for my liking. Tizian had all of the information down through apps, knowing that there was nobody up close and personal. So a little bit of wastage right off the bat. Nevertheless, ForZe, they're looking to sit right outside of this B-bomb site. There's only Keto towards this side of the map as well. And what a stunning nade. Flick gets absolutely battered by that one. And this single defender, Keto's information is absolutely key here. If he spots out any of these Ts getting all too aggressive, he can call for that reinforcement. And, well, there it comes. It's Tabson right on the gun, getting through to that B-bomb site. And ForZe, I think that they feel pressure to switch it up. They've had no success anywhere towards Banana, not finding that all-important opening frag. And now the push will start to come through. They need a pick thick and fast. The smokes are down, but that flashbang is absolutely stunning. It finds Sirison 2 quick kills. That spots the bomb. The re-rotation and wrap can come from the B-bomb site. And Flit gets left last alone. This is a, well, a pretty stonking round for Big, all things considered. Doing exactly what needs to be done right there. Really impressive stuff. A lot of CT sides, you see them kind of overcommit towards that side of the map. doesn't really make sense a lot of the time, but playing their fundamentals absolutely perfectly. And would you expect anything different from a CT side like Big? They seem to have those fundamentals absolutely drilled. Their standards, their constants of Counter-Strike seem to be amongst the best in the world. Definitely the online scene. This should be a freebie in round number 3. Up against no sets of Kevlar, no real investment. Nothing to shout and scream, rant and rave about. Nothing to talk about whatsoever. I think ForZe here, they're just looking for damage, and thus far, just haven't done it. Big is starting to grow that economy. And if ForZe are going to take this series, if they want that early spot in ESL Pro League Season 12, I think they've got to win this map and this map alone. Because map number 2, I think it's going to be a lot more tricky. Big's pick, monstrous win rate. And all over the board, that is one of the sticking points for this Big side, is they don't seem to lose the maps that they're really good on. Yes, they can scrape through series sometimes. But all over the board, just a very consistent force. See, they'll very likely be 3-0 up here. The only frag found quickly towards the bottom of Banana. And now they've got to take away Quito. And, well, it's finally going to happen. But can they salvage a bomb plant off this? Flit doesn't have the smoke to go for this cross onto the B bomb site. And he is a little too quick for Sirison. So they won't defend this site. They'll give a little bit of bonus cash to ForZe. And now let's see what they can do with it. The flank is in place. This is the one jack-in-the-box that could screw this round up. C-Power, he's right behind this retake. And how much of a surprise factor, how much of an X factor can he be? He is a little late to the party here, and just missing those taps. Flit only finds 1 in response, and it's going to be that 3-0. Always a little bit touch and go when you give away that B bomb site on Inferno. I feel like those retakes get really tough, but again, playing that as a unit, getting all the way in, and all too easy before the round comes to a stoppage. 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. It's time for ForZe to show us what they're made of. With the main rifles in hand, that utility. Absolutely blistering. And round number 4. And Big, you can't really call it a bonus round. There is an MP9 and a FAMAS in play, but still fairly hefty investment. You see that Zantares and Tabson have $600 between the two of them. That's not all too much. Ooh, plenty of time on the board, but that was a blind shot from Sirison. Beautiful stuff as Zantares takes another one down. The Byron getting completely cut apart. This starts to become a lot more interesting for Big right now. They've got it into a 5 versus 2 scenario. The bomb, not really in no man's land right now. It's actually firmly in ForZe territory, but they just don't have the manpower to work with onto either of these bomb sites. That push really sucked. It fell on deaf ears. Big were absolutely everywhere to contain those Ts. And you've got to be trading. It felt like a very split approach. Like they didn't have everybody in the right places. And that is a real problem against a team like Big. You need everybody firing on all cylinders and hitting their shots. You need to break that standard play. You need to break that comfort as well. There's a real comfort factor in this series for Big. I think they're going to be feeling laid back. Like this is one to lose. Like their spot is all but guaranteed. And it's up to ForZe to be the difference makers in this one. And thus far, they haven't been. They've not found those dangerous opening picks. The closest that they've come to a round was obviously, well, round number 3. But they didn't have any investment sent into it whatsoever. Yes, they saved with the AK and AWP, but this comes at a cost. Big are able to survive with 5 players alive. That AWP doesn't have to rebuy. They've got 2 AK-47s to fall back on. And most importantly, this economy is starting to blossom and boulder. I think one more round like this right now, and Big, they'll be up to this $10,000 mark. certainly on Tizian and Sirison, but probably on the other three as well. This is a real opportunity for them to get a massively decisive lead in this series. That's a nice opening pick. What a way to do it. AWP opens up. And it is only Tizian towards his A site, so he has to call in that reinforcement. And Xantres just wrapping around. And this is where I want to see what Big does. Do they actually hunt? Try and even up the numbers? That nade isn't really going to do too much damage, but taps him. What a spray through! Over 250 damage. Jerry almost gets shot up through the smoke. And now it's down to ForZe to play on the back foot once again. AWP in hand, but Tabson's not connecting. And ForZe, they have to go elsewhere. This is a key kill. And Flip finds it. A 2 versus 2. And one that ForZe need to win if they're going to break the pace of this CT side. Jerry has to eliminate Xantres oh so quickly. And that was his opportunity right there. Xantres isn't going to let you get a second chance. 5-0 for Big. Five nothing. This becomes a lot more difficult now. ForZe have to get the job done with, well, just these pistols. It's going to be a fast running gun into this B-bomb site where 2 defenders are lying in wait. Lots of time on the board. Opening kill might just mark how this 6th round is going to go. And it doesn't feel like ForZe have as much of a bite to their T side as I'm used to seeing. When I would characterize this ForZe T side is just, yeah, fast executes, but most importantly, tight executes, where all 5 players are maneuvering together into these bomb sites, just clambering away at the defense, chewing through. And that's what they have to do, especially against a team like Big. I keep saying it. I feel like a broken record. It's all about those fundamentals. It's all about trying to throw a spanner in the works to make sure that the machinery short circuits on this German side. But so far, yeah, we haven't seen any surprises from ForZe. That was an opportunity to do so. Maybe right into the B-bomb site. Pistols, perhaps. You've almost got nothing to lose at a round like this. So taking a risk, it really minimizes that whole issue. 20 seconds left on the board, and Jerry, what a pair of headshots. That really opens things up, and more importantly, gives 2 rifles to this ForZe side. I don't know if they're salvageable at this point, as these 2 trying to create this instant crossfire down into Graveyard. And it's Xantares' job to open up into this one. He takes the corner perfectly. And here the building blocks of this attack start to fall apart. Xantares just knows his angles oh so well. And it's down to Jerry once again. He's of course some massive surprises. He gets spotted. There's still plenty of time on that bomb, but only a 1 versus 1. And Sirison with a big balls play. He's just going to hold it. Denies Jerry the ace. And that's the 6th on the board. Starting to run out of ground here. This gets difficult at this point. 6-0 down. ForZe, they take their first timeout. I like the timing of this one. It's obviously not too late, where it doesn't really matter at that point, but not too early to be a bit wasteful at the same time. Of course, you've got 4 tactical timeouts throughout a series where you can have a short discussion. They're only 30 seconds long, so it's just a quick blast of information, and they're back into the pace of the game. But that's what's most important here. It's breaking up that pace. Big don't seem flustered whatsoever, to say the least. They look like they're ready, raring to go. Fighting hard in this series. And now it's time to contend with the double AWP setup again. A double ops on Inferno are a bit of a double-edged sword. They offer that ranged protection, of course, down mid as you're approaching these bomb sites. But in the retake scenarios, it sometimes becomes a real liability. You have to make sure they're in the correct hands. And forcing up a double AWP when you don't have the stars to pull it off is always incredibly dangerous. That nade stack over by B, so flawless, but doesn't take Quito out of the server. That nade as well, only a tickle of damage dealt. Oh, that one's going to blast him away. Perfect from ForZe as they have come into play. Tabson likewise as he sprays through 2. And 40 seconds remaining. This is where things start to get interesting. I love these opening picks. That's absolutely flawless. Tizian versus 3. And obviously one that he doesn't want to go for here. ForZe, a nice execute there, almost playing from behind. Of course, they nail Quito with those nades initially, and one of the prongs of that double AWP setup is taken out of the equation. Tizian's main goal, though, in this afterplant is just to do damage. Anybody rotating down Banana, he should be looking to take them out. You see ForZe all playing as a unit, all playing together. They don't want to give away cash for no reason, so Tizian isn't going to get any rewards out of this. I don't know if there's an AWP at the top of B to grab hold of. I'm sure if there was, he'd be gunning for it, but either way, that's a first on the board for ForZe. Good timing. Right after that tactical timeout, I didn't really notice what they had adjusted. I don't know if it was just off the back of the utility, but either way, here comes the CT timeout, and this is now really interesting. Big, obviously, only losing 1. They're not under massive pressure, not economical pressure to say the least, but they know that this is a swing situation where they take the game back into their hands and shut ForZe down instantly if they win this one. The most important thing on a CT side is to not allow your opponents to chain rounds together, to get off that momentum, to break the economy, to cause all of this havoc that comes with back-to-back rounds. As I said, a swing round coming up. Massively important situation here for both teams, especially ForZe. If Big lose it, then sure, they're stuck without a hell of a lot of money. It's a big round for them as well, to say the least. But as the nades roll in and through, doesn't cause carnage on the T side. You can almost draw invisible barriers, and this is a good thing to note as well if you're maybe new to Counter-Strike, if you're trying to improve, is where you can and can't stand on Banana, which is one of the most heavily naded spots in the whole of Counter-Strike. It's what makes Inferno such a HE-heavy map. They've got a lot more equity than they have in a map like Overpass or Dust 2, for instance. HEs are a must-buy on that B site. And, well, there's the first opener. And Big on the back foot once again. Let's see how they respond. They've got Quito tucked away at the back of B here. But as the Molotovs rain in, that one doesn't really connect. I didn't see where it went. And that kill might become oh so crucial as ForZe look to clamp down on this defense. I don't even think that they will be rotating into this one, especially as that C4 goes down and away. Our 5 versus 2 situation. ForZe have flicked the switch on this first map with just a couple of round wins here. The chances are, well, they will be hunting, maybe not massively aggressively for these kills, but trying to take these rifles out of the equation. Tizian and Xantares obviously just looking to cling on, and thus far that's not happened. Xantares with a spot of bother as well, and what a convincing round for the CIS squad. A complete wipeout there on the A bomb site, 3 fast frags over on B, and that has changed the pace of this first map. Whereas Big were dominant, they were winning absolutely everything, that's not the case anymore. And impressive to see, even though the Molotovs didn't connect on B, the headshot certainly did. Should be a freebie for ForZe. Should be easy enough against the pistols. Not all too much to be done about this one. And back to what I was saying in that previous round, if you want to know danger spots where you probably shouldn't be standing, right in that B choke point is a really great place to start. Yeah, one of the most heavily naded spots. If you're playing on that CT side, if you've got the AWP, you probably know what being naded to oblivion in that spot feels like. But just look at the convincing play. I love that swing from Tabson. There's nobody to defend there from ForZe. So that's a bit of a gap. I don't know if they would be that complacent if we were talking about a full rifle round here. I think that everybody would just be absolutely on point. But, well, that's a nice little double spray down to end things. And the pistols just can't really cause a contest. It's a very one-sided show in round number 9. But this is where it really starts to matter. Of course, Big's not going to have a massive buy again. It's going to be pistols with Kevlar. But the score can start to run away from you if you allow ForZe to chain together rounds like this. Oh, and expect ForZe to be digging into that strat book for the next round as well. An oh so important event. And once again, just clamping into these pistols. That's a couple of kills for Xantares. Nasty stuff. He even drops the bomb, and he's going to gun for even more. There's an AK in hand, and this just got interesting. He's stuck in the fire and flames, takes a little bit of excess damage, but with the C4 on the ground, ForZe, they've made a massive mistake here. There's another AK, and this just got real interesting real quickly. A minute left on the board. There's a re-smoke as well. All 4 defenders are towards this A side of the map. And is it time to shine on this T side? I'm about to find out. C-Power opens up once again. This is a follow-up shot. And now he has to go massive. He's got the support of Jerry. But up against Keto, the 1 versus 2 becomes very plausible. And he gets the massive spray down. Big, out of absolutely nothing, are able to salvage a round out of nowhere. 7-3. And as ForZe, those are the situations that you just can't give up. And to be honest, I think that's a little bit of stage fright. Massive stakes. Big 24-ounce stakes. Of course, the winners get through to Season 12. Mentioned it a couple of times, but that's got to be playing on all of these players' mind as well. And that's where we separate the boys from the men. Who steps up in the situation? Who can hit all their shots? Which team can play their own style of CS and force their opponents to mold? It feels like ForZe are the ones trying to adapt right now, and they certainly have to. Losing around like that, what should have been a 3-4th, becomes really dangerous. C-Power gets slammed away from that bomb site. Molotov on the ground. And you see these nades just peppering him away. He can't stand there. Of course, he's fully blinded up, and there's just no play to be had there. Tabson, the first kill. This is another humongous mistake. Tabson's going to shut them away as well. 2 kills each for both defenders. And C-Power stuck in the mud. Over at the middle of the map. Down inside Mexico here. He's got that little chicken as maybe emotional support. But I think he needs more than emotional support right now. I think he needs support from his team. Let's look at that scoreboard. He is actually bringing up the rear for this T side. Whereas, I guess the kill disparity between these two teams isn't as crazy as I thought it was going to be. But, yeah. It's the scores on the doors at the very top of your screen which really matter. I love that C-Power has negotiated his way around this. But this is dangerous. And seriously, he is so damn quick. That is disgusting. How is he even expecting him inside the apps there? That's a pure reactionary shot. He's just trying to get a higher angle, but... Dude. Playing against some of these German AWPers, and, well, we know. In Germany, they've actually got quite a wealth of sniper talent. And that's where the question mark starts to show. You know that you're not doing massive economical damage to Big with an AWP. So why even go for it? Shouldn't you be maybe hiding a little more offensively over in the apps instead of going for what seems quite a wild peak? I guess hindsight is 20/20. If he finds 2 kills there, he looks like a genius. If he doesn't, then he certainly doesn't. 8-3 nonetheless. As we dig our teeth into the meat of this first half. An all-important take of the B bomb site, perhaps, is what ForZe is setting up for. See the nades come on and over. And Siriuson's going to be the point man. He's going to be taking that first aggressive duel. He'll be giving the information to both teammates as well. So expect the anti-flashes to come as soon as he gives the intel of that first peek. And flashed off the corner. That's where it starts to get a little more promising. Keto finds 3 headshots. That's disgusting. There's a tag to complement it. And ForZe, they're just running out of players right now. Flit has to do everything. Of course, C-Power still alive with that AWP. Levels out the numbers. But now Flit... he's found in a 1 versus 2. Zantares gone. Still 20 seconds on the board. As the smokes dissipate, I need to put another down. And he takes the aggressive swing and it doesn't pay off. Big have those fundamentals as I've talked about. But it's not like that comes with a lack of firepower. Maybe in lower divisions, we talk about teams like maybe lesser German teams like Alternate Attacks who also have solid fundamentals. But sometimes they don't have the firepower to match. Certainly not firepower to match either of these teams in this specific series. Especially a Big. But that is where this real improvement has come from. And I don't know if that is... due to having God Big on the coaching desk. I don't know if he's provided a lot of this experience and information and that wealth of knowledge to some of these young guns. Of course, fairly experienced members of this scene. And, well, we were talking about big guns, and well, this is the biggest, the AWP. It's actually a couple of shots missed. And Flit, he's going to continue to connect the headshots. The C-Power just gets railed away. You see Zantares not actually waiting for his teammate there, but knowing that the bomb is going down, just pulls the trigger. I'm going onto that bomb site. I'm going to take the initiative. And that's number 10. So if you're new to Counter-Strike and you think that this is maybe a doable comeback at this point, it definitely is. However, ForZe are monstrously behind. This is their pick. I would say that they're no slouches on the T side by no means. But if this goes 11 or 12, 3 or 4, then we've got real question marks to ask about this series in general, because we might be in for a very quick night, folks. Still opportunities, though. They're finally starting to find entries. A couple of 1v1 situations. The big issue is that Big are nailing these as well. They're hitting all of their shots. And Xantares has hit a couple more. He actually whiffs. And Jerry does fall finally to the flames. And now they have to make this rapid rotate inwards and onwards before this rotate from Big comes through. Another 3 versus 2. One that I think that the Germans are going to want to go for, even considering their lack of money going into round number 15 if they lose it. But that's a lack of money even if they save. So it's a bad situation or an abysmal situation. And, well, yeah, look at the cash. That's pretty abysmal. 10-4. Yes. A gap of 6 here. Yeah, it's not looking good. And that buy round might actually give ForZe this final round here. Remember that they've already lost one of these anti-ecos. There's absolutely no guarantee that you're taking it over the top. In a series like this, and, well, the first time that we see Big go for this instant rush through, and, well, Tizian gets left alone in this 1 versus 4 scenario. Gonna be 10-5 on the board. And yes, this is where things maybe start to get a little more interesting. Second half, CT side. ForZe obviously needing the comeback. We'll see how they roll through things. Obviously, there's not much of an opportunity here for Tizian to salvage anything. I think he should be playing to win at least. Trying to get a little more aggressive. He's only got 6 bullets in the barrel. And round 15, there's no point in saving. You can't take it with you. And, well, he didn't even need the extra bullets. That is the half over. Either way, we're going to a very short break, but don't go anywhere. Half 2 coming right after this.
Even when it's so sweet, I end up seeing red. Is it such a ghostly revelation? I may have fucked up all my chances.
And we ain't sleeping on the floor again. We never sleeping on the floor again. For the ones who didn't make it out, for the ones that didn't see the life, for the ones that never cared, never gave a thought, found no happiness in that brand new car or the house you bought. I see you talking about the love you lost, and it was gone like way before you ever thought it was. Yeah, I took my time, no quick ones, quick run, quick gas to get back there. Hot roads, I didn't think I'd come back fierce, cause
I was running roads so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I end up seeing red. Is it such a ghostly revelation? I may have fucked up all my chances. It's easy, it's hard to preach, cause I've been burning trees and watching fall. If we cannot breathe out, we go forward. Sure, I was searching for cure, fishing a little wildlife. And when I'm low on fuel, I'll still be running till my back broke. Halfway, lost hope and I checked it. Hard roads, I didn't think I'd come back fast. Cause I was running roads, so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I end up zero. This is such a ghostly revelation. I may have fucked up all my chances. Been around the globe, looked around, nothing fitted. Seen high and lows, but you won't even get it. Been around the globe, think it's time to admit it's not.
Welcome back, everybody. Short intermission before we get back into the action of this second half. And of course, it all begins with this pistol round. Big, it's one that might put them over the top. ForZe, one that might put them back into this first map of the day. Their pick, of course. Oh, great angle, but gets caught off guard. And now ForZe massively on the back foot here. This is a pistol that they really need to take. You can't go down 2 pistols against Big, especially when the score is 10-5. This is a real heartbreak of a situation. And as we leap and bound our way into this second half, it's all about getting your foot in the door, about that getting that momentum rolling. That's what's of the utmost importance here. And when you're up against a player like Xantares, that's kind of his job, right? Is to stop and slow that momentum. He is so damn good at just hitting headshots and catching you off guard that it's really tough and tricky to play against. Big should snowball these kills onto the A bomb site, which is now free, open, and easy for the taking. We can see that ForZe they do need to take a risk. They want to play on B on their lonesome. Maybe cross their fingers. Maybe if they put both of their palms together and look up to the skies above, then Big might eventually walk into them. But that's not going to happen this time. And maybe just keeping alive a set of Kevlar here and an HE there. That is the way to get back into this one. I'm not too sure. I think trying to firmly and harshly stop that execute is certainly the way to go. It's an 11th on the board. An ominous boom. As Big are just 5 away from the victory on our first map of this series. If you've just joined us, this is the big one. This is where a spot in Season 12 of ESL Pro League is up for grabs. Both of these teams obviously want it. Of course, there's also a second chance in that lower bracket against Team Spirit, who is lying in wait. I think ForZe will be feeling a lot more confident against them than they do against Big. I think out of pretty much every team here in this qualifier, this special qualifier, they will probably feel a lot more confident. When you actually dig into Big's results, they're really quite impressive. They've only lost 1 in the last 9 best of 3s that they've played. And that was a 2-1 to G2, for God's sake. They've been beating everybody. A pair of 2-0s against FaZe. I would read out all of their results, but the show would be over before I get to the end of my list. 11-5 on the board, and ForZe, this investment thus far has fallen on deaf ears. They've already lost C-Power, 4 more upgraded weapons, 3 of which being Deagle's lie in wait, but none of which are sat on the B bomb site. And Big, you see they're fishing for information. They've got the pole in the water, seeing if they feel a bite. And when they feel nothing on the B bomb site, I think that's when they'll make their move. See, the C4 is actually gathered over towards A. But let's see if Tabson gets the information before this push comes through. No, he's all the way on. So now the C4 will wrap away. It's back to plan B, site B. You see, this wasn't the initial response. Even if there was one defender over there for ForZe who found a frag, that would have been an opportunity to get back into this one. It has to be done the hard way in this retake scenario, but I don't even know if ForZe want to go for this one. They've grabbed hold of a Galil, of course. There's a Scout and the MAC-10 in hand. Maybe saving is the best bet. I'm not too sure. This is definitely a bit of a dilemma, but it's too late to change your minds now. Scoreline's certainly 12-5. And wow, what a one-sided first map this has been. ForZe haven't looked competitive. They've actually looked a little bit scared. Maybe a little bit of stage fright setting in. There's Big just overwhelming, crushing them. Not just in that first half, but continuing that pace onto the second side as well. I've got one eye on the game and one eye on that Twitch chat, with all of you lovely people at home showing up in heavy number, supposedly. We've got over 8,000 people here. That's pretty cool. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, this is your daily fix at this point of ESL Pro League. Seeing which of these two teams are going to make it. There are 2 spots open. And Big reaching out with both hands. Yeah, this is an important round here. It feels on the T side that Big have always had the upper hand. They've been predicting these correctly. They've been, as I said, fishing into these bomb sites and getting that intel, pushing off the back a bit. Last round, I think it was Keto, just moving in first. Yeah, he dies, he gives away an SMG, maybe a rifle even. But if he walks onto the bomb site, it's a freebie. It's a clean round. And it doesn't feel like the CIS squad have really had any play whatsoever. They haven't been giving them any chances. And what a way to cement your spot in Pro League with a big win like this. Pardon the pun. Not much of a pun. Bit of a 2015 pun. Hansen just annihilating this defense. Nothing that ForZe can do about that one. The A site hold has really been ridiculed. And ForZe, once again, going for this save. Yes, they've got a little bit of money in the back pocket. They can go for an investment in round number 19. But that might be all she wrote at that point. If Big win it, they'll be up to 14-5. Then there's the dilemma. Do we go for the buy? Do we maybe eco and try and take 10 in a row? But for ForZe, this has been completely disinteresting. On a map that I would have actually given them some equity on. I think that in terms of a pick, Inferno is just a masterclass a lot of the time for them. They've just not shown up in this series. They've got a great win percentage on it, but it's going to get a little smaller after this one, I think. And then Dust 2 coming up next. That's Big's pick. We'll be talking more about that one after this map is maybe quite quickly over. 3 rounds now needed. This might be the pivotal one that pushes Big over the top, though. Puts ForZe into a world of pain if they lose it. Even if they win it, they're in a nightmarish scenario. One of the biggest games of their careers. Falling this flat never feels good. I like that they're still trying to make the plays, though. See how that initial frag and taking Xantares, that's a big scalp out of the server early. And what might be one of these crucial turning point rounds. Remember, comebacks and upsets like this certainly aren't out of the question. Wouldn't be the first time that I've casted one. Certainly won't be the last. Let's hope. Almeza, that's a big spread as well. So a good B site defense, the first time that we've seen it. But with Tizian remaining, he's obviously going to gun for the ace. not going to find it. Surviving with 3 won't allow that money to boulder. They will obviously build a slight bank after that 1 victory. But here we go. It's time for Big to try and break the bye once again. If they want to close the series out incredibly early, it's time to shine. Quite a tricky bye to do so with, though. And ForZe have everything that they could ever dream of working with. If they don't win this round, then let's call it quits. Let's stop getting excited about any possibility of a comeback. It does feel like they're flustered. I just can't imagine a moment where Flit, or players, somebody with, such key Counter-Strike experience, would miss, not just that nade, but notably the one on Banana that I saw a lot of people in chat also picking up on the B site execute. Just a fundamental molly to dig out of double boxes the defenders. He misses his molly. They still win the round nonetheless. But those mistakes, I don't know if it's a little bit of pressure showing up. Maybe it's complacency. I wouldn't say the latter. Couple of kills coming through. Still feels like Big have more of a chance in these rounds than ForZe ever did. Look at these headshots, just so brutal, even with the Galil, which is a rubbish weapon to be holstering, and Tizian making me eat my words and making Jerry eat bullets. Almeza versus 2, and this is such a key scenario. He needs to win it here. There's plenty of time on that bomb. He's going to peek into Tizian once again. A triplet of headshots to put Big onto 14. Heartbreak. Just as I start pandering to the underdogs, saying that, oh, maybe they have a chance. Apparently not. Absolute decimation there on the A-bomb site, and it's all off the back of Tizian. Somebody who has been a relatively quiet player, bottom of the scoreboard until that massive play. Either way, ForZe, they're going to go for one last swing at this map with, of course, a force buy into round number 21. They're going to be stuck without cash. Not enough money to buy a packet of Cheerios if they lose this one, which is what we'll probably be saying to them if they do. Minute 25 on the board. And Big, they do concede first blood. Tizian, that big man with the plan, going down first. Information you don't really need to prompt for. Flit also falls, and look how fast Santres is. He's pretty much pre-firing those angles in Almeza. Oh, world of hurt, but finds the headshot anyway. Now this rotate needs to come through thick and fast, considering the bomb is hightailing its way to the A-bomb site, which has been solo secured by Santres' AK. Double entries and openings here. And maybe it is also the firepower deficit that's really making this CT side struggle. You see Keto, just a favorable angle, springing the trap on the AWP. And everything's just gone wrong for ForZe in all realism. Hero map number 1, it's fallen apart. They haven't had the opportunity to get either their T or CT side rolling, especially this CT side. They've been stuck force buying and not having too good of an economy. I think they've only won one key gun round here on this CT side. And Big, just off that really massive first half, we're just going to force ForZe out of this map. We're just going to force them out of rounds. It's 15-6. And in all honesty, it doesn't feel like we're going to too many more before this is said and done. Time to shine for ForZe if they want to salvage 9 in a row. It's 3 Famises and a pair of M4A4s to try and do the trick. ForZe's that utility on their CT side. And with Almeza finding that first pickup as well, There's every opportunity to try and claw at least a couple of rounds back. If ForZe can get to the 10-11 mark, then we can start maybe talking about a comeback. Right now, it's far too early. Big have been incredibly decisive and confident. There's been nothing in the way of a convincing performance from ForZe. It's not even in the same universe. There's a good performance. That's considering that they get their map pick. Map like Inferno, T-side, shouldn't be a lockdown like that. If they're going to pull this one back, it has to be a lockdown for them. Right here, right now. See the double set piece up towards the top of Banana. Jerry playing anti-flash. As these flashbangs come on through, Almeza needs to connect. And then Jerry needs to spring back into life. They both get fully blinded up by that one. And in the 5 vs 3 scenario, Tizian, is he able to do it again? This is where it starts to get interesting. Just being on the edge of that smoke. Timing's too good. And that is going to knock him away. That comes down to the AWP and the AK. Those nades, not as brutal as Big's previously were. Montares, a little bit of preliminary damage, but he is stuck to a rock and a hard place. The headshots just cannot come through fast enough as ForZe find 7. So a chain of 9 was needed. Now a chain of 8. Still feels in the realm of impossibility here on Inferno. I'd like to see a couple of tricks come out of ForZe's sleeve at some point, but on Inferno, it's such a tenured map. It's been similar for the last decade. It's obviously been in this configuration for the last, I'd hate to even think, it's been 2 years, 2.5 years, makes me feel old. And it's of course a map that everybody has decent fundamentals on, but very few teams fundamentals better than this big roster right now, who are having a massive resurgence, especially with so much online Counter-Strike being played. No LAN events, no studio events, none of those hot lights beaming down on you. You can play from the safety of your own home. That seems to be favouring a couple of teams. G2 being one of them. Big, certainly. Being the most notable name. People have been throwing that online word around quite a lot. But certainly can't discredit them. As after one round, Xantera is trying to bait the Vac chat there, but no, he guesses the angle wrong. No Vacs this time, my friend. Until he hits those headshots. Maybe I should bite my tongue next time. Big, they might have just done it. Those entries are absolutely sensational. Xantera never fails to surprise me. And Almeza stuck in the mud. I think this is going to be 16-7 right now. Unless he pulls back something stonking here at the end of map number 1. Sirison, he loses his head. But there's so much more to do before this is over and done. And Xantera is going to sweep him out of the server with a quad kill. A stunning first map for Big as we go to their home turf. Dust 2. Coming up right after this very short break. So I would advise that you don't go anywhere, because we'll be back in 5 for this one.
Everybody loves an underdog. Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to CS.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Charge up your game with excitement. Place your bets with Solid Bookmaker and win with your favorite teams. Take what's rightfully yours with GG Bet.
I was running road so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I end up seeing red. Is it such a ghostly revelation? I may have fucked up all my chances.
And we ain't sleeping on the floor again. We never sleeping on the floor again. For the ones who didn't make it out, for the ones that didn't see the life, for the ones that never cared, never gave a thought, found no happiness in that brand new car or the house you bought. I see you talking about the love you lost, and it was gone like way before you ever thought it was. Yeah, I took my time, no quick ones, quick run, quick guys to get back there. Hot roads, I didn't think I'd come back fierce, cause I was running roads so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I end up seeing red. Is it such a ghostly revelation? I may have fucked up all my chances. It's easy, it's hard to preach, cause I've been burning trees and watching fall. If we cannot breathe out, we go forward. Sure, I was searching for cure, fishing a little wildlife, and when I'm low on fuel, I'll still be running till my back broke. Halfway, lost hope and I checked it. Hard roads, I didn't think I'd come back fast, cause I was running roads so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I ended up seeing red. But you won't even get it. Been around the globe, think it's time to admit it's not the end but the road, and you won't even get it. Been around the globe, looked around, not fit it. Seen high and lows, but you won't even get it. Been around the globe, think it's time to admit it's not the end but the road. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I call the shots in the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stopped till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Savage, you've been distracted, your best my average, there's a reason for that's a fact. So they snapping back, mad at the fact that I don't have a backup plan, I ain't need that. Outworking everybody when I relax, so I ain't tripping about none of y'all feedback. Heard that, wonder when I'm gonna peak at. And that's why you count your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stopped till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. Shots in the man with the plot and we only go bombs away. Ain't no one protecting my mind as a weapon, that's why I'ma dominate. Taking advantage of every second, now I ain't got time to waste. They all tryna sign my name, they want me to sign my name. Counting your blessing while I count that in my winnings. We take 50s and 100s and throw them up to the ceiling. Everything I envision, now everybody gon' witness. Only difference between us is I ain't stopped till I finish, yeah. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now. I always wanted the world, I wanna conquer the world right now. I feel on top of the world, I feel on top of the world right now.
Embrace your destiny, slay your enemy, raise a legacy. No more apologies, trust your abilities, gather the energy. Pull yourself back together, been staying off track forever. Child of the nation, go seek redemption, time for salvation. Today is meant to be day of victory, time for history. Rebirth's a tendency, fight the entropy, channel your rivalry. You're praying for fortune to come, you're hearing the sound of the drums. It's too late to backtrack, go back your back now. Keep your feet on the ground and stand up. You've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, 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 out. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Go save your team, be a hero. Take home the cup, be a star. They're waiting for you, take aim, shoot your arrow. It's your time to shine, show them who you are. Stronger, gotta go faster, gotta get better, gotta work harder. It's fight or flight now, get up now. Go make the move, go for the goal, lead up the stadium, you know how it's done. Stand up, up, just go what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got and show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up, just go what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give all you got and show them how to takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, out. Stand up, go what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out. Keep holding on, show him how to make a miracle. Stand up, go what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out. Keep holding on, show him how to make a miracle. On this day, I take my place in this legacy of dust. I ricochet all in your face, and it quenches my bloodlust. Nothing you can do can break me. I wanna more can break me. I let you try to take me on. Nothing you can do can break me. I wanna more can break me. I let you try to take me I got you in my crosshairs. I hope you like the taste of pain. The only thing between me and you is a bullet with your name. Nothing you can do can break me. I wanna more can break me. I let you try to take me on. Nothing you can do can break me. I wanna more can break me. I let you try to take me
Hello, and welcome back, everybody. It's map number 2, and Big might be about to complete their run to ESL Pro League Season 12. I'm bringing you the action today. My name is Squid. I've got one eye in the chat as well, so if you post a little funny comment, it might just get to me. I'm not too sure, though. Make sure that you do engage, do all of your usual stuff, but for the time being, we're getting into what might be the final map of Big's run to Season 12. Such a big one on their pick of Dust 2 here today. It's one that, of course, ForZe need to win. Otherwise, they'll be slapped back to that bottom bracket against a second chance. That lower bracket against Team Spirit coming up. All to play for here. And Xantarez already shutting dreams down upon mid. What are these headshots? He's going to finally find all of ForZe. 3 quick kills. And just finished off the trimmings by his teammates. 1-0. And ForZe... it's not a good start. They had that T-sided start earlier on in Inferno. It really didn't go their way, did it? Very one-sided. One of the more one-sided matchups that you'll ever really see. ForZe just didn't look like they were in it for a second. A couple of minor glimpses of hope, but very easily quashed by Big nonetheless. One-sided, decisive scoreline. Exactly what the Germans need to do if they want to book that spot in the biggest league in the world. Minute 30 left in this one. And ForZe, a force buy. Try and bring themselves into this one. All-important round coming up through. Trying to execute this rotation, and in Santres once again. He just isn't slowing down for a second today. He's already on 7 kills before we even really get into the meat of the map. What a start for him. ForZe, they need to deal with Santres at some point. They weren't able to do so on Inferno. He was by far the top fragger on their CT side for Big, and, well, he's just continuing that relentless, painful pace on this second and maybe even final map of this upper bracket run for ForZe. Another difficult round upcoming. Yes, it's against the MP9s, but they don't have body armor to work with. They should just get shooted through by these MP9s. You see Keto already farming a little bit of cash, raking it in, Scrooge McDuck style, and, well, that might be a bit of a sign of what's to come. Nice little shot by Sirison. Well, another shut away round by Big. I'd like to see them actually dump the MP9 here. They usually don't, just wanting to keep that cash at max. I don't mind either way. They can see it as a little bit of a bonus round. Tizian maybe doesn't even see this MP9 as a massive weak point. Of course, he needs to get a little bit more aggressive than otherwise he'd want. Let's see though. Sirison's going to go for that instant peek, and what a headshot. C-Power just taken out of the server, ripped by his shoulders right away, and that's how fast this AWPing is. He hasn't even got an AWP in hand, and he's able to win that duel. That is, yeah, really painful stuff, and you just can't allow that to happen. Good damage onto Tabson. The nade doesn't quite connect around that corner. Gabe Newell told me that he had fixed that one, but perhaps not. That looked precariously close. Maybe a little too close for my liking. Big. This 5v4 scenario. Couple of weak points, of course. Sirison Scout no longer really looks like a weak point, but of course on paper it is. Especially as you get into these AWP duels. The 3 sets of AK-47s as well. Should be able to shred through at least the MP9 and Scout, but CSGO, we know, isn't that easy. And if Big can, well, come up with a couple of rounds here, it's looking like identical starts, and what a tag onto face crack. He gets nailed down to 28 before we even really get into the majority of the action. Here comes the second prod, and how much damage is this man doing right now? Both are going to peek and swing. He finds another kill before dropping down, and that leaves Big in this great situation, and ForZe an unenviable situation as Flick gets peppered by the frag grenades. Almays are locked out of this A-bomb site, and Big, they hold serve on the CT side. It's going to be 4-0 here. Almeza wants to save that AWP. What a tragic round. I've got to say, Sirison does everything. On the scoreboard, it looks, oh, he only got 2 kills. Ah, meh, that's just a standard performance. But how many tags, how much damage is he doing there? He's almost doing, I think, 360 damage in total, right? That's a hell of a lot of shots to find. Just some stunning stuff. And how are ForZe going to circumnavigate the effectiveness of him? Now he's upgraded from that Scout to the favorable AWP. That's the question mark in this particular round and going forward as well. That's why you've got to limit the cash, because in these buy rounds, Big are just going to bully you. There's all wedgies. 1 minute 30. No aggression thrown in as of this point. Looks like they're going towards this mid-stack once again, and while Tabson is more than ready for it. There's the nade as well. C-Power down to 7. What a hefty chunk of HP taken away as C finds himself on just 1 HP. A minute left. And Tabs, he's just gunning for more, isn't he? I don't even know if I call this greedy or just so smart right now. He places that smoke down. That creates that stalemate towards middle where ForZe are just, they can't push it. They're going straight into the M4. Instead, they try and peer over the top. That limits the numbers to 4-4, but a massive advantage nevertheless for Big. I don't even think this rifle is retrievable. I think C-Power really just has to do a hell of a lot here with only 1 HP and an AWP. The bomb should be able to go down, but look how fast Sirison is on these shots. Perfection on the A bomb site, as he has yet to be challenged. He's 7-1 right now. Zantares is 8-0. Let me open up this scoreboard and just take a look. We're only 5 rounds in. Zantares hasn't died. The next 3 players have only died just a single time. That's just not enough damage to be dealing on this ForZe side. And it looks like Inferno all over again. Big, playing with confidence, playing with no complacency. Sometimes you see a team starts to get a little too comfortable on the map. Maybe they recline their chair a little bit. They go for those aggressive pushes, which are far from ideal. We haven't seen that from Big. They've been playing all of the standards and fundamentals flawlessly, and ForZe just haven't had the answers to these Germans' questions. 5-0. The double AWP comes into play. That adds another crease into the defense that you have to unfold before you get onto one of these bomb sites. I just don't know if ForZe were up to the task today. I think maybe if they go into that lower bracket, best of 3 against Spirit, they have a lot more equity in that series. They have a lot more of a chance. But here against Big, I think this is a bit of a bitter pill to swallow. Right now, another option, another opportunity, and another gun round. But I think that ForZe are actually looking for 6 or 7 if they're going to have a big chance. Or even a serviceable T side. If they get onto the CT side again, up against a 5-round lead, 6-round lead, I just don't know how they're going to make that comeback happen. Time to put the scores on the doors for ForZe. It's so hard when you're just getting peppered up by those nades at the start of every single opportunity. Jerry and Almeza down to 22 HP apiece. It's just not a great start whatsoever. And there are still a couple of grenades to boot. Vito's got one. You can rest assured that that's going straight onto the A bomb site when he rotates through. He doesn't want to release it into upper B dark and just gamble doing damage. He wants to have the maximum effectiveness and efficiency from that investment from all of the utility that he's picked up, and keeping it in hand, it is so important. I see so many players, especially at a lower level, just throwing away their utility for no reason. Oh, I got this in my pocket, I've got to throw it. But Big, and as you climb higher up those rankings, teams know, yeah, right, we have to hold on to this utility to ensure that they're massively effective. And, well, Big, they've knocked 3 players down to below a quarter of their initial HP before the push even comes through. And here's Sirison. It's just a firing range. There's that nade again. It clambers in. Proof to the pudding as Big secure a successful 6. Just looks impossible right now for ForZe. Dust 2 is supposed to be a map with some play in it. Some leniency for this T side. At least a couple of bomb plants. Force those closer situations. But ForZe have just been stuck in the mud, unable to move. And that's all off the back of, yeah, this initial damage. But Big just not giving them anything to work with. You give one of these teams, especially a team like ForZe, an inch, they'll take a mile. Big aren't even giving them a millimeter to play with. Comes the initial spray. See what's happening. Just cleaning windows with his mouse mat, wiping it all over his desk, finding even a kill off the back of it. And there's the man advantage before the push even comes through. Now they have to take away some of these further defenders. And Zantares, last defender on that B-bomb site. Oh no, Tizian, how does he even find that kill? That is so BM. Just goes for a random stab and ends up connecting. That's so nasty. And Sirison, is he really going to give Big an opportunity into this one? On the B bomb site, this should be a bit of a lockdown, a shutdown. But instead, it gets a little bit frisky. Remember, we're playing on a recent patch. So, or not the most recent patch. So those double doors haven't been inverted yet. Means that car is probably the safe space instead of being like shooting fish in a barrel for the CT side. This is one that they're going to go for, but with AKs in hand. And those nades aren't going to be hyper effective. Lit on the bomb site needs to isolate these members. And there's both of the shots required. A must-win 1v2 that Flit is able to carry through. Six-round lead, closed down to 5. But I think the scary factor here is that is identical to what happened on Inferno. And we all saw how that panned out. Even with a Goldfish's memory, you can remember it. Just 25 minutes ago. I do think that the whole Goldfish memory thing is a debunked myth. Just for those at home wondering. 1 minute 30. The smokes go down in a way. And there actually looks to be a little bit of spacing on this A bomb side for ForZe to try and make their marker. Tabson's more than aware of that CT drop-off. Finally gets dealt with. There's no smokes to CT. That's a real problem for the ForZe attack, but no punishment comes through from Sirison once. There's the first kill from him. Is Jerry able to shut him down? And now it's the collapse, the crunch onto Xantares, and he falls the same fate. Tizian versus 2. He's got a nicely executed flank in place. This is actually quite quick to the marker. Could catch ForZe off guard, but with all of that mid-control gained by Jerry, they kind of know where he's going to be, and that's the second. Secured on the board. Yeah, Xantares there as a solo defender on B as everybody else falls around him. That's actually a really tough position to play in. You've got so many different angles to watch, and even if you find that first kill, it's just not enough to win the round. Yeah, you've done your job, but yeah, in that scenario, you need really 2. You need to cut off a whole prong of that attack and then kind of escape and stay alive. That's the best case scenario. If he was able to, and you saw him trying to scurry towards mid, if he was actually able to get to those angles and escape and segregate off that portion of the map, then maybe they find themselves in a 2v2 situation with quite a nice flank in progress. It becomes much less readable, and maybe it's another big round. This is the important one coming up. Not this 9th, but the 10th after. Of course, ForZe, they need to win this one. It's only pistols. A couple of sets of Kevlar here and there, but a scatty buy to say the least. First frag. Nicely done. Should be capitalizing off the back of this. These deagles, although they can be deadly, shouldn't be proving a real problem. What is that made? It does the tiniest bit of damage, but I think that's a little bit ambitious. The smokes. You always need 2 smokes for this cross angle, especially on a round, well, in any round, but even against the deagles, it becomes quite difficult to make that cross. And well, 1 kill traded back in retort, and now ForZe can start to isolate off these CT members. They know exactly where Tabson is, and he's got no support, so it goes down. Not before he finds another kill, and a 2v2 out of nowhere. Xantares cannot be doing this again. Almeza's going for this peek, and as soon as he goes for the swing, Xantares nails him. What a god with the deagle. 7-2, and I'm getting PTSD flashbacks from Inferno just a little while ago. ForZe losing an all-important anti-eco, and Big back on the board. This is flashback nightmare moment for ForZe. I wouldn't blame them if they just take the tactical pause right now. That is so tilting to lose a round like that. It just shows how bloody good Xantares is. 13-12. Phenomenal stuff. Fantastic. I wish I could just watch that last pickup on loop. So pinpoint precise. It is absolutely nuts. That's the disappointing thing about Xantarez as well, is online we see all of these flashes of maybe one of the world's best players. Then on LAN, sometimes he doesn't have the same flair. As soon as he gets confident, I don't know, because he's had quite a bit of LAN experience at this point. I want to see him get as confident as he is online. I don't know if that's even possible. Maybe he's just got the ultimate comfort pickup in his home, and LAN, just, you can never replicate it. Of course, a lot of these players have 10,000 plus hours in the game, so there's no amount of LAN experience which will ever add up and amount to that. But across the years, he's just one player with real potential to just be one of the world's best. 7-2. Big are coming for you. This is starting to look very one-sided. And even though the kill goes ForZe's way, there are massive openings in this one. Flitz on very low HP. Also the Mac 10 on face crack. I'd love to see them just roll over those weapons. And with Almeza going down first, and Sirison just isolating these members, ForZe can't get their paws anywhere close to this bomb site. Feels like Sirison's a turret as well. He seems to hit absolutely everything. 8-2. Just the most one-sided affair we could have possibly imagined going into this. Big are almost, well, they're halfway there to the finish line on this second map as well already. ForZe's map pickup. And what is the turning point for ForZe? This is just a head-scratching, head-banging situation where, what is the way back in? Do you just give up? How do you go back to the drawing board? Because obviously the stakes are so high, you can't just concede in a game like this. Even mentally, you can't concede. Of course, you've got that next best of 3 against Spirit, which is more than likely coming up next. But they have to go to the drawing board, and in a 30-second tactical timeout, that's almost impossible to do. Look at this responding grenades. They flash up literally every single player on this ForZe side, and they still haven't dealt with Xantarez on the back of this car position. He springs to life, finds another 2, and this is just a firing pit for him right now. He's 16-2 on the boards. Just let that sink in. The big spot in ESL Pro League Season 12. He's having one of the carry performances of his career. Sirison as well has been a sensational star. 15-4. And these haven't been exit frags. These haven't been eco frags. These have been solid golden kills. Pure, untenured impact. Feels like his skill in this series has no bounds. Quick headshot through. ForZe trying to get off of just 2. Minute 20 on the board. They still haven't dealt with Xantarez, and is he really going to be the problem maker once again? A bit of trigger discipline here might do the trick. See how he turns, and he falls the same fate. Xantarez, only finds the 1 kill's worth of damage. They can't connect either. So it's Sirison versus a pair of players. With plenty of cash, this is one that ideally he would probably want to go for. He's, of course, checking all of these angles. And does he know where Flit is playing from? There's the shot. Levels it to a 1 versus 1. And Jerry is right around this corner. He switches to the nades at the wrong moment. And that is going to be a 3rd for ForZe. A much-needed round, of course. But far too few at this point in the series. What a performance this early into things. A deficit of 6. Of course, AWPs for both teams. There go the smokes down and away. Almeza gets a little bit of info there, but obviously he's got to aspire to reach, and while Tabson's just a little too quick for his liking. Big, again, finding these opening frags. And ForZe haven't been able to breach the bomb site yet. Those choke points being shut away by Xantres once again. Looking very, very convincing at this point. ForZe unable to chain rounds together. Of course, on your CT side, that's what you want to stop your opponents from doing. Flip, C-Power. Not a lot of equity left in this 13th round. Looking at another double-digit performance from Big to start things off right now. I just don't know how this one's possible for ForZe. We saw a fairly flimsy CT side to end things on Inferno, albeit they didn't have a lot of play in that one. Maybe if they got off to a better start, winning the pistol, a couple of gun rounds coming through, but it feels like they've been totally outclassed in this series. Of course, Sirison and Xantres has been just fragging like on a frenzy from the start. And now with 30 seconds left, it's down to Flit to finish. And Xantres, he's obviously just going to take a peek here. He's spotted him through. He's just going for these baity jumps through double doors. They know exactly where this last AK is playing from. Well, there's the flank to finish it off. Big onto 10, and ForZe just stuck again. 2 more rounds of this half remaining, and we might be destined to see an even more one-sided performance on this second map. Can you even believe that? After seeing that Inferno performance, the Big to double down and just take this 2-0 in the most dominant fashion. Winning the next 6 rounds means that they would have won 9 out of 10 of their last best of 3 series. Even a best of 5 in there against G2 of all teams. They've just been killing teams online. And once more, you see ForZe walk into the blender, which is this A-site defense, only trading back a single. There's the spray down, which should end things. 11-3 for the Big side. Jerry with no opportunity to get the job done here in round number 14. This is such a one-sided scoreline. And what do you do if you're ForZe? I think tactical pauses, I don't think they can work anymore. You need a shot of espresso, perhaps. Something to wake you up. I said at the start of this series, which albeit wasn't actually too long ago, that ForZe need to throw a spanner in the works. They need to be the jack in the box. They need to increase the variance of this series. They just haven't done that. They've been playing fairly standard Counter-Strike, maybe even playing into Big's hands. I would have liked to see something crazier, something more spasmodic, something a little bit all over the place. That just hasn't been the case. 11-3, and Big might as well have been a flawless half to start off their pick. Smokes go down in a way. There's that cross. ForZe, what do you do? He's doing such a once again. Combined with a flashbang, it seems all over here in the first half. With the bomb gone, and C-Power just chipping on through. They're going to take a 4-0 trade. Just nothing being done by ForZe. The Shadow spotted to finish off the half. And that is just about as one-sided as it gets in Counter-Strike. We're going to take a little breather. I think ForZe need it. We'll be back in a couple of minutes right after this one.
I was running road so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I end up seeing red. Is it such a ghostly revelation? I may have fucked up all my chances.
And
We ain't sleeping on the floor again. We never sleeping on the floor again. For the ones who didn't make it out, for the ones that didn't see the life, for the ones that never cared, never gave a thought, found no happiness in that brand new car or the house you bought. I see you talking about the love you lost, and it was gone like way before you ever thought it was. Yeah, I took my time, no quick ones, quick run, quick gas to get back there. Hot roads, I didn't think I'd come back fierce, cause I was running roads so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I end up seeing red. Is it such a ghostly revelation? I may have fucked up all my chances. Fucked up all my chances. It's easy, it's hard to preach, cause I've been burning trees and watching fall. If we cannot breathe out, we go forward. Sure, I was searching for cure, fishing a little wildlife, and when I'm low on fuel, I'll still be running till my back broke. Halfway, lost hope and I'll check it. Hard roads, I didn't think I'd come back fast, cause I was running roads so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I end up seeing red. Ghostly revelation. I may have fucked up all my chances. Fucked up all my chances. Been around the globe, looked around, nothing fitted. Seen high and lows, but you won't.
Back into the action for perhaps the final time as we jump right into an early second pistol round. 12-3 at the half, and ForZe now need some success, otherwise, well, they're running this upper bracket. It's going to be all over, said and done, and we're going to be crowning big, signing them into Season 12 fairly early. They've been just sensational, and this pistol round looks anything but for ForZe. They've been absolutely shut away once again. There go the final building blocks of that defense. 13-3. Not even needing to get the C4 down before cementing that 13. Unlucky for some, certainly been unlucky for ForZe. They've had a real rough series coming in today. And this force buy, this really just looks like Inferno. These maps are identical carbon copies of each other. ForZe haven't got the snowball building, not the ball rolling either. And, well, we might be heading to bed early after this one. And just look at these shots from start to finish. Siriuson's been hitting it all. Big, absolutely worthy participants. There's no shadow of a doubt. Sometimes an online qualifier, a team, they'll just have a dream performance, a couple of upsets here and there, get an easy bracket with only one big series win. That's not been the case here. Big have taken down humongous scalps. As we said, after this series, they're going to be 9-10 in series play. That's just overwhelming. Winning 90% of your last series is just phenomenal. It's unrecognizable. You can't understate that in any way. There aren't even enough words in the Oxford English Dictionary to describe how impressive that is. 14-3, and ForZe down to their last legs once again. This one looking even more convincing than the prior. And Big just on the home straight. It's undeniable right now. They're the better team in this series. Not by just a short margin, not by a little bit. Not by maybe a marginal or reasonable amount. They are by far the better team in this series. They've played phenomenal Counter-Strike, and they're unbelievably deserving of this spot. So not wanting to put the crown on early. Let's see if they can take the last two, but in my mind, no shadow of a doubt about this one. This feels like a very said and done day of CS. Sirison missing 2 of the only shots that he's missed all day, but third time lucky. He's going to nail you that time. You just can't toy around with this man. See that Big, they always find the gap in the defense. When Sirison isn't finding those kills, he's getting all of the key information, stating that, well, maybe the rotates aren't inbound, and that's what Big's been doing all day. All of this info is absolutely flawless. You see, even spamming through this smoke here, Almeza, there's just nowhere to maneuver. Even though he finds a couple of kills, it just doesn't put this round into contention. And I can already see 11,000 people in the chat saying GG, and I might be on board with you folks. This definitely looks like a said and done series. Big, after this kill, they'll need one more to sign that paperwork. 15-3, Big. One more needed. And Ace for Tizian. He's started to step up as well. 5 kills away from Pro League. Unbelievable. Might be the final round of their run. So understated. You see, even though this is a full buy round for ForZe, just getting rid of that Galil, you never know what their buy's going to look like. Maybe there's a couple of SMGs on this CT side. They're not taking any chances. So even though 1 kill gets peppered through for ForZe, Big just want to guarantee that going towards CT spawn isn't going to be that saving grace. Minute 30 left. And the Tabson already eliminated. This might just be a consolation prize for ForZe at this point. I'm not going to be getting excited about this one until ForZe get to 10, 11. Until they start to claw multiple gun rounds in a row back in their favor. Otherwise, we'll be saying 99. What a shot. Right through that smoke. Flip. Must have had some sort of angle to work with. But that's what you need right now. Those feel-good frags. You need those AWPs rocking and rolling. If there's any way back in for ForZe, it has to be off the back of those snipers. And snipers that we've seen kind of just falling on deaf ears. We saw at the start of the first half. C-Power, one Inferno, bottom fragging player. You just cannot have your AWP, especially up against players like Sirison, just falling flat. It's just not doable. So Big will walk into this defense this time. And there are the kills. A nice collat to end things. 15-4. Big wanting to end it early. They're going to upgrade into the pistols. I'd like to see them just throw everything at this. Go for a running gun. Go for some sort of rush. At this sort of level, those sort of quick B hits are quite difficult. You're probably going to get decimated by the nades. But really, how good have ForZe's utility usage really been today? I feel like that's just one of the big factors that separated these two teams. Is Big have obviously been fully vetted in the utility department. They've spent a lot of time in those practice servers, just lining everything up, knowing how to do maximum damage. You even see in this round, Facecrack starts it on 60 HP, and that might not sound like a lot, but it brings you in contention of getting one tap by these Tech 9s. It becomes real problematic as we get further into things, especially in these gun rounds. You go down to 50 HP, 15 HP, just don't have a lot of health to work with. A minute left on the board, and oh, here come the kills. B bomb site, a bit of a shutdown, but no finishing blow here. Oh, Big, couple of kills through, and it might be Tizian to do it again. It's the Deagle to secure their spot in Pro League, just like that. The sleeping giants with a couple of pistols, able to secure that spot. And that is our show over as soon as it is started. Remember, if you're following the whole tournament, ForZe aren't out. They've got a chance against Spirit in that lower bracket final, one that they've got to win. That's our show for today. thank you so much for joining us. It's been a genuine, absolute pleasure bringing you the action. Until next time, I'll see you then. Ta-da, goodbye.
Everybody loves an underdog. Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to CS.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Charge up your game with excitement. Place your bets with Solid Bookmaker and win with your favorite teams. Take what's rightfully yours with GG Bet.
I was running road so many nations. Even when it's so sweet, I end up seeing red. Is it such a ghostly revelation? I may have fucked up all my chances.
And we ain't sleeping on the floor again. We never sleeping on the floor again. For the ones who didn't make it out, for the ones that didn't see the life, for the ones that never cared, never gave a thought, found no happiness in that brand new car or the house you bought. I see you talking about the love you lost, and it was gone like way before you ever thought it was. Yeah, I took my time, no quick ones, quick run, quick gas to get back there. Hot roads, I didn't think I'd come back fierce, cause I was running roads
seeing red.